Beginning the tradition of starting nearly an hour early because I was expecting XCOM to last a little longer. Epic, epic, epic mission. Watched the third stream of that series. It was amazing. It was tense, it was awesome, and I will say nothing more about it, but other people might in the chat, so apologies for that. Anyway, it means I ended pretty much an hour earlier than I was expecting to, and so therefore we move on to Mahjong. Now, I have put up a new tournament link. I've managed to get this so that Debbie can join. She's the other person currently in the game. So, yeah, you don't need paid account or whatever else to go and do Zhongage. So yeah, new link. I've changed the link in the description for the video. I've also put it up there. Good days, Voltage. How are we doing? We should just wait and see who turns up. But yeah, there's another versus the Patreon and chat and whoever else wants to come along. So pretty much the same usual people, we hope. Always happy to see some new faces though. Maybe Casey will be around. Maybe we'll identify who is JPB, but I doubt it. Unless it's somehow Voltage. Or Marishin, who we obviously believe it is. Wibble indeed. Wibble and chips and stuff and things and cake. So we're just waiting for one more person to join in and then we shall get things started. I assume that's Draconis in the thing. If not, get in here. Oh yeah, you may need to... Well, we'll see. I will never find out. But you are here. And potentially so is JPB. Hello! Yes, I apologise. I changed the name. Yes, here we are. Yep, what did we say? Mr. JPB is here. Yeah, probably doesn't surprise me. I should do some minor adjustments. Bear with. Okay, I've turned it down slightly. But thanks for letting me know. Nobody else ever does. So why does YouTube not work? Because YouTube. So, Kung Pao Debbie to begin. South off the bat. So I have 2 bonus tiles in my opening hand. 1 Dora. 3 bonus tiles, but all of them different. And White Dragon to get rid of now. But we'll see. It's been a while since we played with Debbie, actually. She's apparently been going up the rankings. She's now 4th cube by the look at that. And goddammit indeed.
Boom.
Not entirely wrong. Pair of Norths. Let's dump an East on the 3rd go around because that's probably the best time to do it. So we have North Dora 1 currently showing. Though, of course, we will be required to get rid of a few things here to make this work for us. Not going to call that North because the hand is still too far away really to be effective. But I'll call the last one if it comes up and I'm in a better position at that point. Okay, cut the 1. I don't really want to cut the green dragon at this stage of the game. I'm going to hold on to it and see what happens with it. It's likely that somebody wants it. That's quite helpful for us. That gives us a 5-8 to draw into. If I can draw the 3, dump 7. Draw 5, dump 3. Gives us a pair of bonus tiles, unfortunately, so it's not Pinfu, but... Also, there's the green dragon. 1's played, so somebody's being defensive. But I'm going to force the issue now. Okay, Debbie did wait on that. I'm surprised she did. She doesn't normally wait for those. But we forced her into the decision, and she's apparently gone for it. Debbie's learning to play conservative, apparently, based on one single instance of it that she called 2 turns later. Still, it's possible to go for a dot Honitsu based on her opening hand. Discards. That's quite useful. I've now got North Dora Dora, so I would call the 4th North if it came up. We'll certainly call... tempting, no. Yeah, apologies. I changed it because people without paid accounts couldn't get onto it. So I just did some experimentation in the background, and you know what? This second reason, I couldn't actually get to the admin of the old lobby. For some reason, I've completely lost my link to it. So okay, we'll dump that for now. I need north ideally because that would allow me to go and call for stuff and things. I could break up north and just go with something like that, but I'm going to instead break up the 4s. Oh, damn it. Riichi, massive, massive hand, and that is a buyman off the bat. Yeah. I didn't even look. I'll be honest, I didn't even look. Well, that's going to kill my chances of first place, I think, unless I can recover this massively well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I draw the 9th, then maybe. If not, I'm going to aim for Chanta Sanchiku. Which I should have held that on for, in fairness, but, you know. I know I should have done. I nearly did it as well, but I was still kind of thinking win and whatever. Indeed, it is early. But the pain is beginning already. Riichi Mahjong on the first instance, not a great position to be in. Okay, pair, and still need to get... Still need 4, basically. Not 5, really. This is still miles from anything. Well, this is true. Your position's fairly solid. You get... I mean, I lost some ground to you last time we did any kind of this, so... What am I missing? I'm actually missing south, aren't I? And I see 3 of them. There's only 1 south left. There are... Okay, they'll be on the attack. This probably means I'm now going to start playing defensive here and just give this up, because this is clearly going nowhere. In fact, that's now killed it. There's no more souths left. So, Chitoitsu, Chanta. We did, but you lost slightly less points. You may ask what this is about. I don't know. I just felt like I need to go on the attack right now. I need to be threatening. So I've given up any kinds of Chanta. I've given up the 7 pairs option. I've still got 3 calls I can make. Just double checking I can actually make them. No, I can only make 2 of them. White Dragon's now out. I'm just trying to appear threatening. That's it. That's entirely it. And 1 call of non-Dora is not going to do that. Let's not play that against her, though. Okay. So one from actual Tenpai. If I can get that last Hatsu, I'm going to get the Hatsu only hand for nothing.
Riichi.
Yep, go you indeed. Yeah, one's fine. Tenpai for the Red Dragon passes. I've played some risky moves before. That could be busted out already. No, actually.
Wrong.
Oh, exact same waiting pattern, but yeah. Okay, well this looks a bit more sensible. Will I play it sensibly though is anyone's matter. I have potentially the South instant Mungan on, which is what I'm going for regardless at this stage because I have no reason not to. Just need to draw that last South, and this hand is awesome at that point. Until then, it's okay. Wouldn't say good. It's okay. Gonna do that switch up because obviously I've got the 5 that I can draw to help this hand out now. 5 or 7, and obviously that puts me slightly closer towards a Tenhou. Which if I do have to cut the 6 is the South is very possible. That being said, cutting South. God darn you, sir. It's the last time I could realistically have done that, and I'm not even going to get pinned 2 out of this if this is going the way I think it is. I can draw 7 though, put myself into a 3-dot. Reach Tenhou. Okay, Tenhou. Tenhou nothing right now, actually. I don't want the win from Debbie right now. If I draw the 5, I can turn this into a pin 2 as well, but... Okay, we'll go with that. If I'd have got the Apatsu, it would have worked. Alright, there's still 3 left, and that was... I don't know. I wouldn't have got anything for keeping that, really. I probably should have taken the win off of Debbie, but it would have given me no points, basically. So Reach threatening for the lead against Freedora. Not necessarily a good move, but something I have to do with my low point score at the moment. If I deal into him, I do lose. But I'm hoping I'm going to bluff him into folding a little bit.
Kang.
Now that's always a risky move. That was a doubly risky move. You must be in Tenpai. I didn't get any extra Dora out of it though. An 8 dot's not a good discard against him, really. I have extra Dora if I get that 7, but I might have just given him it. Nope. I was safe last time, safe this time, unless somebody wants to call for Tenpai. 2 more discards. I'm just hoping on... Oh, actually, 777. Come on, Haite 7. No. In fact, you had all of them. God darn you. Yeah, additional order is a thing as well, so... But I'll take that overall. This is a very good hand to be coming back into. It was certainly tempting, I'll be honest, but I'm low enough on points and willing to take risks right now. Also, I had an odd feeling that I might be able to get it soon if it had just passed, but, you know. Oh, it did what it was supposed to. It threatened the board. It set this back up. So hopefully, Tenhou Dora 2. Would have taken dealer as well. Yeah, true. Okay, still 2 from Tenpai. Not much to really say at this point, particularly about things, but... Okay, I'm going to go with that. That might be an error because if I were to draw a 3, that puts the Itsu on. Could call and go for this. But I'm going to hold off. God damn it, I would have had the Itsu as well. Alright. Okay. I might draw it back. If I do draw the 3 now, it does at least give me a long check. Well, it still gives me that, so... It did help. Drawing the 8 will put me into a 2 Tenpai. 2. I missed the Tenhou, unfortunately. Okay, double ton from Vidila. Oh. I noticed this just as soon as I discarded that. That was a... Okay, I've just put myself backwards again, so I'm not going to get to... I'm not going to get it done this hand.
Each.
Well, I folded before I needed to, which, you know, is not what JPB is doing at all.
Kang.
Okay.
Dong.
That's unfortunate. Thankfully, it's only a Mungan, but that could have been much worse. So Draconis has put himself back into the game. I am now dealer. And I need something from this hand. But yeah, do not Khan against Riichis. It rarely works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but Mr. Draconis is the master of Khaning for all purposes. Yeah, double Khan was a bit interesting, but in the meantime, this is going well. If I can draw the 2, this is workable. This is definitely workable. Okay, get rid of the 8 there. So, Ipeiko, Pinfu. Oh, sorry, Ipeiko, Pinfu, yeah, that'll be all I have, really. Ipeiko, Pinfu, Dora 1. If I draw a 9. Well, actually, if I draw a 6, it's fine as well. But it might just be Pinfu, Dora 1. Always Khan.
Riichi.
Okay, Debbie has reached. I do have directly safe tiles against her, but I'm going to go with a 4 on the basis of the early free discard. Potentially dodge even for 2, but it's more risky. Wouldn't say it's necessarily strat, it's more risk. But speaking of risk, I might be playing one in a little bit. Self-drawn. Which kills my dealer turn off, and it's a Mungan hand, potentially. Yeah, it's a Mungan. Okay, so I am now officially circling the drain as we enter South 1. Okay, 1 Dora. South in the opening hand. Work to do. Okay, West is fine. Oop, and I'm being messaged on Skype. Bear with. Okay, there's Debbie gloating in that chat. Got points back. Oh, and apparently she was distracted, hence why she dealt into a hand a little earlier. Okay, get rid of East because East is really not useful to hold on to here. So I've gone up to 4 pairs. If I can pair the doors as well, that would be amazing. One of them has gone. South also is... Actually, one's been played. Okay, Debbie attacking the White Dragon. She's dealer, so that's kind of... Okay. So what else have we got potentially going on with this? We've got Sananko Dora 1. Oh, God darn it. Just when I really did not need that. If I got rid of the 8, if I got rid of the 8, which in fairness is a loose tile, then yeah. It might not have mattered because obviously Paracelsus is not a bonus tile by itself. That makes the 8 really difficult to discard. Gonna do it anyway. Playing a little recklessly here, but one from Tenpai. Not a potentially not a bad one either. Okay. Here's the thing I've got to consider now. If I get this third triplet, is it worth holding on and seeing what happens? Because there's not that many draws left anyway, but don't know if 2's safe. 9 probably is, actually. Okay, so there's only 1 8 left. I don't think there's any 1s left either, so that would have to be the pair in any case. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get this now. There's only 1 8 remaining, which would put me in Tenpai if it comes to it. No 10, and that puts me down to 4,000, I think. But we still have 4 rounds to come back. I'm the last dealer if I can remain there. It's not completely over here, and this is an okay return hand. Yeah, cheap, cheap. Which is why I was waiting for something else. If it was going to K off, then, you know, it's worth going for, but it was unlikely. Okay. 1 triplet. There's only 1 free left, but if I can triple up another set, I might just go for the Yakuman here. But Sananko Dora is not a bad way to go either. And if I draw the 4, of course, that allows me to go that way around for this. I can also calm the 8s if I need to. No, that's a good draw right now. So I'm 1 away from 7 pairs with 2 Dora. And if I do draw another 5, then I can go straight for certain big hands, especially if it's the Friso. In fact, the Friso would be the sign to go for this. Darn it. Okay, freed up. Arguably, I could have tossed an 8 if I was guaranteed to keep with that, but there's still a chance that I can improve this hand. If I were to draw another couple of these, replace, I'm in for a Suanko Tenpai. There's 1 free, which is gone now. Or I can go Toy Toy, yeah. I have a Dora to go for Toy Toy. So... And if I do draw now the 1, the 5, the 2, then I can still go Toy Toy Sananko. The alternative was to leave that as the pair, which seems like I'm narrowing my options too much here when I do have a hand that can win on and I need some points. Toy Toy and Dora would be fine. Tempting, but I've already called all the 3s out and there's 2 2s already out as well, so there was no way I could improve this to be anything other than what it is. Partially annoying. Mind you, I wouldn't have got that draw because I've changed the draw order of that call. There's 1 2 dot left, 1 1 so left, and 2 5 so's. In fact, if I draw the 5, I'd be willing to change that up. 7's a safe tile. Toy Toy Sananko is on. If I can draw that last 2 dot or one of the last 2 5, so failing that, I have Toy Toy, and I have the option to Karn things now. Not that there's a lot to Karn actually, but I think the 8 can still be Karned. Yeah, the 8 can still be Karned. Not safe to the right, but three dots seems so dodgy right now. I've not been given the option to Karn yet, and I can only Karn one of these in any case. So the last 2 dot or somebody playing a 5 so is unlikely. Okay. We'll take some points from Draconis there because I do not want Karn material out. And that's enough points to give me at least something back. So. There we go. Didn't give me the door of 4 I would have wanted, but you know. Can't have everything. Some points are getting myself a little closer to the game. Definitely worth it for me. Okay. 9 safe for the moment. And we saw a red dragon, so that's fine for now. I don't want to give up the Dora yet, and I don't particularly want to give up the South, even though I see one of the... Ah, there we go. Okay, so South can go. Nah, you can. I'll be honest, I'm not playing well. I appreciate that. Here... go for another one. I don't have any Dora though, but no, we'll hold off for now. I don't need this. No, I still don't need this, and I've got 2 safe tiles now, so I'm hoping I can draw another north, but if I can't, well, if red 5 Dora would be fine right now. Go for the Dora, Dora 7 pairs weight. Dora, okay, Dora hell weight is out. Gonna hold off because unfortunately I can't really help myself out by getting by chasing people off. I need to actually win hands. Yeah, south is actually dead weight as well, really. Okay, but 2 isn't. Can draw any of those. I just go into 7 pairs. As tempting as it is now to call, I'm going to hold off. Especially now somebody's called. 5 is a safe tile against Debbie, so we'll consider that for when we do things. West is the indicator, and I'm fairly certain there's 2 more out. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're locking ourselves into 7 pairs, but I don't really have another route that's going to get me anywhere. Reach 7 pairs, hope for 2 Oradura. And it's too late to call to get to Tenpai at this stage in any case.
Boom. Gee.
Nine's safe on the left, so we're going to play safety there. I've got enough points that I won't bust out unless they've got a ridiculous hand, but
Boom.
okay, everybody's calling. It's the ideal time for me to draw now. I'll draw a Tenpai anyway. 2 red dragons are gone, so that's fine. And that, unfortunately, means I'm back down to 9,000. And I only have 2 more hands to do this, though the last hand is my dealer round. No, it's okay. This is an okay hand. He discarded the wrong. Oh dear. He discarded the wrong tile. Indeed. Okay, North does not help me very much. What I need here is a reasonably big win off of the player to my left. let's get rid of my only dot tile for the moment. Tenpai. Gonna hold off on it though. The winning tile will be the 5, of course, but this can easily be changed to... Okay, we'll just take that. I'm slightly annoyed that. That was so worthless to everybody, including me, really. But I have to make something with this repeatedly. All I have to do is win multiple times. Yeah, just won one. I mean, how hard can the other 6 be? I might not need that many, in all fairness, but... Ooh, there we go. Yeah, I know. I know. As I'm sure... You know, I didn't think it was a good enough thing to go for. And it probably wasn't. But hey, I got the win. I'm now dealer. We now have to make do. This could easily be Toy Toy Double Dragon. Which, in fairness, I would need. God damn you. Right. Toy Toy Double Dragon is the plan. We call everything. We dusting the 3 and the 4 man, even though they are both risky. But I don't think either of those dragons are going to get played now. I've had 7 pairs Tenpai to get those 2 Norths, but there was no reason to do so on either of them. Nothing I have is safe, so let's just toss the 4. I saw a 1, so I'm thinking Suji, but... The plan has not changed. We're still going with... with the overly aggressive Toy Toy Dragons. There is no chance of either of these dragons turning up, though, unless he discards them. Which he might do. He might do. Alright, I know he doesn't need the Dora. But I also have to be in Tenpai, so I need a call. The 8-so ideally, but... Actually, no, dragons ideally, but I'll take the 8-so if it comes. Right, Dragon Toy Toy. 8 green from you would be awesome. No. Come on, green dragon. Just teasing me there with that tile I could call. Yeah, I lose nothing by that in a lot of ways. Because I need a win regardless. And I have to take that. Mungan. Two reasons for canning in that situation. It skipped his draw, and to be honest, I needed something. Okay. Keep anything that can give me a set of Dora here. We have Dragon. So unfortunately, it has put me into second, which I will take, but I want the win. Always going for the win. Okay, apparently Debbie's dad is the reason that happens. Which I believe, in fairness, because I don't think she would have discarded a dragon on purpose if she could have avoided it. I was expecting a dragon to come from JPB if it was going to come from anybody, or I would self-draw it, but... Okay, Debbie's on the attack. Which is not what I want right now, not unless she can beat Mr. JPB for a lot of points. Okay, East has been played. I wanted to get rid of that then. I have a South, which just replaces, but there's two of those gone. Unfortunately, yeah, two of those have gone. Bugger. I may have to get rid of the Souths later, but they're safe tiles if I need them, though the purpose of me needing them isn't much at this stage, I guess. Okay, all the whites are gone. I'm running out of tiles I can win with right now. I'm going to have to go for Pinfield of some kind. Okay, now I'll get rid of the Souths. Can also get rid of the West if we need to, because I think they're... No, the West is still alive, actually. I'm a couple of tiles from me from being able to reach at the very worst, so we'll see. Now I wish I hadn't done the 9, because that would have put me half a step closer. Too early. The consideration's there, but that was too early. Okay, so I'm far too far down. I'm also going to hope the 7 dot will pass. God damn you, sirs! I need to be in tempo at the end of this. I may have to do a suicide reach in a moment. Oh god, yeah, it'll be suicide reach. Okay, I need to draw a 369 because otherwise I'll be through a 10, which, with the way this works out. Game over. Unless it's huge, I finish second, which it doesn't look too bad. +1. I've had better results, I'll be honest. But I managed to recover that just about. Right, I'm putting myself straight back into the thing because otherwise I will end up being kicked out of my own games and have to observe, which I'm happy to do once or twice. But GG. Did you? God damn it, I'm going to find my observation link. Continue. You trying to remember how to observe? I mean, I can't do it for a little while in any case, actually, but... Good luck all. Yeah, I don't mind not being involved in the games. I managed to at least recover myself to a plus of 1 anyway. I thought I'd join in straight away, that was the thing. But, well, these things do occasionally happen. Right, so there's that. Can I actually have a look in this game? About to find out. No, that was not how to do it. Is that the observation thing? Nope, that's just me going into it. No, with 2 moments. Okay, there we go. So I'm in the observation mode now. So I will observe following... Who should we follow for this one? Let's follow you. And now I have to wait and do a little dance while these people play their games. God damn them. Does mean, though, chat is fairly open for what happens, though I will get spoilers about 5 minutes in advance. And I've got to wait 2 more minutes. So I am going to do a lot. Bear with. Yeah, leave that alone for now. How do you mute the music? It's a little button that looks like this. Well, one of the things there. It's basically one of these little buttons that will do it. Otherwise, you can listen to the best Mahjong music ever. I think it's actually in the top right, the 2 buttons that will do it. Oh, God damn it, I was doing the actual music, even though I can't hear it. It's infected. Okay, another minute until I'll be able to actually observe. Meantime, I shall just look here and go, Apparently we have 2 people waiting in this thing, so... No, I might actually I might actually be thrown into another game, oddly. Which will be confusing. I would not listen to it ever, I'll be honest. Not now, not ever. And the wait goes on. Meanwhile, let's actually have a look at thingamajiggies. One of them. But one of who, sir? Who are the them? So, in theory, I should be able to start this by now, but apparently it's obviously it waits 5 minutes. I know that much. I was apparently just watching my own live event, which is a bit weird. Okay. I prefer you two, in all honesty, because you can see what I've got. Honestly, I wonder at half the times whether JPB is actually watching what I am doing. So I can't remember him dealing into me at any point. In fairness, it's difficult to catch these sorts of things. And if he is, well, that's on him. Oh, come on, I should be able to start this up now. Aha! Okay, starting hands. Let's turn the sound effects on. I might have turned the sound effects off. Bear with. There we go. There we go. So north to north, south to this. So your JP on the left, we have Draconis on the right, we have Little Debbie across from us. So, currently looking here like it's a possible Chanter hand, or at the very least a Pinfu Dragon, which is always a nice enough start to have. On the right, we have what looks fairly okay hand. I think Debbie's got the best starting hand here. Already has the double run. Has a dragon to get rid of, which should probably be done now. No, she starts to break up a 4-6. Keep the dragon, which is fair enough. It's an edge weight for a close weight. On the left, we're looking at somebody risking some dragons. No, indeed. I agree with that. The Akagi soundtrack is amazing, but I don't own it, so I can't have it going on in the background. Okay, completed the run over there. JPB is looking quite strong for the moment. Just easy to get rid of for Tenpai. Meanwhile, Debbie is looking very good for Tenpai as well, the way this is going. She draws a 2 or a 5. She can go into a single weight Tenpai on either the dragon or the 4. So I get rid of a pair of 7s, one of the pair of 7s there. Second dragon has been called. Debbie has unfortunately broken up a potential Tenpai with that. Huzzah! Always good to hear. Yeah, so getting rid of that dragon now is really dodgy, but keeping it isn't going to help her. Spoilers, sir! Spoilers! Okay, Debbie is still kind of a bit all over the place here. She has the double run, but doesn't have the ability to do much. Okay. So, waiting on a 1-4. Couple of dragons down. Now that is potentially interesting, but she decides to decline and go for the attack. I think I might let her know that a double run is not an open hand if she has it, because that might be what's the reasoning behind this. Of course, she can trade the 9 for a 6. She does have the potential to change this into a Tanyo. Okay, I imagine playing defensive, keeping the dragon makes sense, but I don't know whether that's necessarily why she did that. And again, she's not really playing defense because she should be breaking up her 8s if she's defending. Still, I meant to be concentrating on the person in front of me, not the person across there, but... Okay, still breaking up the hand, still playing defensively. It only does that. You can turn this on in the game, but I prefer not to have it on in the game, in fairness, because it gives a bit more information. You can observe it, but sometimes it's difficult to know. But for spectating it makes sense, because at least you can tell what decisions they've made. For example, you can tell here that Mr. Viking has made conscious decisions to break up a lot of his sets to play defense. Okay, Riichi Pinfu. Moving on to hand 2. So, pair of seat wins for you. On the right we have what's looking like an okay-ish hand, potential Sanchiku. Looking across, we have a possible Itsu! Had to get that out of the way, even though it's not mine. But a very nice looking hand by JPB here, actually. If he can get that 6 dot, he's pretty assured of a good hand. But we'll see. And actually, I'm thinking about this. There's a potential Sanchiku on for Debbie as well, based on those draws. Yeah, that opens up the options for an easy Tanyo hand. Another North, another Red Dragon. Okay, broke up the set. Keeps the 1-2 free, of course, but decided the pair of frees wasn't particularly helpful, and I guess I agree with that. Alright, Debbie now has a 7-8-9 and breaks up the Itsu, which makes a bit of sense here. She's relying on a closed court weight at some point here around here, but well, she's already kind of there. She should now break up the 1-3. Okay, instead she did that. That's not necessarily the most efficient play, because if she'd kept the 1, she'd still have additional draws. But it's working. Now she should definitely get rid of the 1. Yeah. So she doesn't have the pair, which is the only thing, really. I'm kind of trying to concentrate on everybody at this point. So how are things developing? You've had a state of bad draws. Viking isn't too far from Tenpai, and looking over at Draconis, he just reached Tenpai. There we go. Tenpai winning on the 2-5. Okay, East has been played by the Reacher, so that's not a bad tile to get rid of at this stage. 7 potentially is Tenpai draw nearly, but oh, we have a reach possibility here. It's for the West 6. It's not the best of weights at this stage. In fact, he's got rid of his West pair at that point, which clearly means he's not confident that would be a good hand to go for. Now draws a 7.
Each.
Reaching for the free.
Each.
Okay, we now have 3 reaches on the board. So there's a reach waiting on the 3 dot, and that is a pass across the table because you've discarded the 5. Hanneman, hand in half, and Draconis earns a lot of plus. And also, yes, that's what the talk about losing the Riichi stick was. Okay, so moving on to East 3. We have a full set of dragons over on Draconis' side, which is just a sign he's in luck at the moment. Debbie's hand is okay, nothing spectacular at this stage. Bit of work needed on JPBs, and god darn it, stop giving me spoilers! Now I know he doesn't win with that hand. Alright, well anyway. Well anyway, where was I? Yes, so we're going to ignore that hand entirely because we now know he doesn't win. Dragon for dragon. That's actually working quite fast for Debbie at this stage. Potentially... well, Pinfu is probably the most likely outcome from that. We'll see. Vikings getting reasonably close to Tenpai. He only needs the 8 dot. Can't use that 8 dot though. Still some work needed from you. All of the spoilers, god darn you. Okay, Debbie's gone on the attack, which is not the best of things to do. She needs to get rid of the 1 ideally, and she still needs a potential thing here. And then gets rid of the 3. That sounds ominous. Okay, so we called the 2s, left yourself with 2-5. Stuff has happened and yet more spoilers. Okay, Debbie's redrawn a 3, which gives her... okay, she just dumps the 3 again. We gave her 3 sets, in fairness, so she still needs a pair from somewhere, which is why calling the 2 was not necessarily a good plan. This is highly aggressive, but... and she does technically have a Yaku on, but it's Tenhou for nothing at this stage. If she had Dora, then it would be something. Welcome to timeout, sir. Oh, we have the carnage. The carnage. He deserved it. I can't make him any higher in position rankings. So you know he's just gonna have to take over the channel. It is now Shadow Way again 2012. Okay, so we have here 3-6 Pinfu. No, he still needs to draw that pair. I mean, as I say, the pair is important. You don't want to just call away your pair if you can avoid it, especially when you're going in for what is effectively a cheap hand. Okay, Hatsu. Yeah, Debbie has dumped a lot of pairs in this hand already. Okay, not much you can do with 7-2 though. Puts Debbie into a single weight. Which you might as well call at this point, because why not? Now in a single weight for the free. Oh, Viking! I mean, in fairness, it's a single weight and it's worth 1,000 points, but... Well, it's the disadvantage of trying to chase a Yaku when you don't have one. You almost always just take a cheap win. So that puts Debbie into second place at the moment. It's an awesome hand from Viking potentially at this point. A lot of Manzu tiles though in Draconis' hand, who is probably looking quite good for the win at this stage. We're in East 4. Just depends what Viking can do in his dealer turn. I'm not saying that was the right one to go for, but honestly, you shouldn't have been calling quite that many for what was a valueless hand in a lot of ways. It was only worth 1,000 points regardless of what you did, and after the first call, you kind of locked yourself into trying for the all simples. Which is fine if you're in the lead and you just need to chase out a game, but it's not necessarily the best for when you are in, I believe you were second at that point. It just helps Draconis out more than it helps you, really. Okay, Viking, though, one from Tenpai. So there's a bit of value there if you can make Vedora into something. Okay, dumps Vedora. Which, oh, there's a Kana Vedora on. Doesn't take it. Probably makes sense because he... Well, actually, he could make that Tenhou fairly easily from that, so we... I might have considered that. Okay, Reach. 3-6 Manzu, wait. Okay, enough for the moment. Drops to 7. Okay, Draconis is playing defense. No worries. Okay, one that's not particularly useful. He's drawn another pair, which means if he thinks the 8 can pass, he can do something. But again, playing defense, so he's out for the moment. JPB is definitely not out of this game, and that is the return. Unfortunately, it's not worth an awful lot either, but reach only 2,000 points, but that undoes the hit from earlier. So, East dealer repeat. Double ton. It's always worth doing that. He's got a hand which is quite close and has extra draw in it, so he's got his free hand, which is what I would say minimum. As dealer, double ton is enough by itself. That's 4,000 points. And the game isn't particularly tight, and still another round to go. But it would allow him to get back into this. Useful draw. Stupid's got an okay hand, but it's not really gonna develop into any value. Debbie's hand is looking very Pinto-ish. She's got the north and the green dragon. I don't know why she's holding on to the north over the east. Well, I suppose the east now is a triplet, so. And yeah, having the double tone established now means that Mr. Viking can start calling. Hey Casey, this is me observing a game at this stage because my chat decided they wanted a game. Yeah, so South's okay. I don't know why you're holding on to South actually, it's not a bonus tile for you for this round. It is Draconis' own bonus tile I suppose, so. Okay, so Debbie's now 1 from Tenpai. You can draw the free and then it'll be a single free weight. I suppose she draws another 3 that would still count. She'd probably keep the 6. Yep, okay, I agree with that. So by keeping the 6, she's opened up her options to Ipeiko and possibly just to make it back to Pinfu. That again enhances the potential options for Viking in his attack on Tenpai. No worries. I mean, I'm kind of into one anyway. Oh, hold on. If you do join, that might trigger a game, which would be interesting. These would have 2 games going on simultaneously, and I wouldn't be able to track this anymore. We have 7 people playing Mahjong on this. This is weird. I'll be honest, it is weird. I mean, Jesper isn't around at this point, so goodness knows. So Tenpai waiting on the 7 for double ton. Debbie's still looking a little out of it. That's potentially useful. Dump the 2 at this stage. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine you are the 3rd. You just got to be aware of it, because if the game does start, I need to swap over. Okay, so that can potentially be Pons. Fortunately, you don't have any Yaku either at this stage. Oh, there we go. Tenpai. Okay, Tenpai reach on the Friso. There are a lot of them still out. It's a bit of a late one, but it's still potentially... There's enough draws to make it happen. Nando is safe. Red Dragon is safe. And they've drawn a set of 9s. But you think that's safe too. Seeing what Tenpai options that would bring, but none particularly right now. Is that Tenpai? Not quite. So that's moved you into... I mean, you're still Tenpai actually on that 9, but you've swapped around. Could probably still play the 6, because you know that's safe, but... Risking the 9. And somebody's drawn a 3. Has decided to keep it. Debbie gets a double Tenpai. 1,500 points each. And they remain tied for 2nd. And closing on Draconis by a little bit. Okay. So Vikings still doing very well at this point. Dragons. Just having a quick check. Actually, the hand's not that great after that, but having the dragons set up is... Oh, he actually gave up on the dragons altogether, because one's a door indicator. But he's got 2 definite safe tiles, which is always a nice thing to have, if you need them. Meanwhile, Draconis does definitely seem to have a lot of luck right now. And very nearly there. And he's just drawn the red 5 as well. Debbie's hand is advancing okay. Another possible Itsu is on. But I see other people's hands developing. Spoilers! A stick is being taken. I realise they're about 5 minutes down in the commentary, so I don't imagine it's going to happen for a while. Still. Also, green is Fedora Dragon, which is why it's a bit significant that it's in 2 of the hands right now. Either of them gets a pair, it sets them up, but of course, they've got to weigh up the risk and probability of it actually being useful. I might turn the chat off in a moment. Oh, whoa. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I'm going to have to go to this another time. We have a game on. Keishi, Outbreak, and JPB, who is back? Okay, that game ended rapidly. I might observe that one at the end and just find out what happens. Where am I? Oh, yeah, ignore that. I think let's put it on pause. No, it hasn't. Okay. I know there might be a pause option, or I can go and review it later, but... You're done, spoilers! Alright. So Mr. JPB will play every game regardless, is doing okay. I wasn't expecting he's quite to win that, but I've got the last 5 minutes of that to watch at some point. Still, I imagine Debbie just dealt into a monster hand. Okay, Hatsu. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. But yes, we have some new people. Well, Keisha played the game before. Outbreak is a new person. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to get rid of my closed bit here. I figured it was something akin to that. We like ridiculous amounts of Dora. I've kind of got my going on at the moment here, if I can do it. Apparently it's still going, but... Okay, that's useful. Let's dump the 8. A little dodgy to do that, but I've got the potential 4, 5, 6 HQ on, so I'm happy to just lean it that way. And very happy, of course, to call. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go with this way, because I think this is Tanya Dora free. Sketch calls the 1-2 free. He might be going for a Chin or Honitsu though. He hasn't discarded any Mansu tiles. Yeah, he overcalled me in any case. I was thinking about it, but... It also means I only have 1/7 left, so this is unlikely to develop anywhere. No, I think Draconis has won before on the thing. I forget. I didn't track the wins from the last time, but... Okay. So I'm 1 from Tenpai if I can draw the 4-7. Or I can go reach door free if it comes up. Okay, I can't call that, unfortunately. Indeed. If I draw the 4, that puts me into Pinfu, door 2, but I didn't get it. That is an Itsu. Cash, we have rules about this. We do have rules about this. Okay, Dragon to start. The rule is I'm not allowed to make an Itsu and everybody else is, of course, but you know. It was Freehan though, so you can't complain at that. Freehan is what you want to get, and it was at least what you want to aim for if you are going to call. But again, Mahjong is very situational, so it depends. Let's actually dump the East at this point. Okay, Outbreak's using up his time. Okay, Outbreak's actually disconnected. Okay, I'll play a White Dragon at this stage. Okay, West's interesting enough that I might go on and just keep it for the moment. One's been played, but if I can get a second... Okay, maybe not. Okay, that's West down. I did say you seem to have a lot of the luck from what I could see. Yeah, Outbreak Anonymous. I think he is in the chat. He's no secret marriage or anything like that. Well, indeed. To be honest, I didn't rant that hard at you. Okay, so I'm 1 from 7 pairs. It's only enough that I would consider the calling if it came up at this stage. Obviously not for that. This, though, changes up the game plan slightly, so I'm now going to go and aim for Tenhou.
Ciles.
Okay, that'll do.
Ciles.
Fortunately, one of my 5s is gone, and 7 isn't the best thing to be waiting on, still. I put out a siege trap, but I don't think anyone's necessarily paying attention to what I'm doing, so we'll see.
Ciles.
Plenty of attacks going on.
Sumo.
No, we'll just take this after and win. Tenhou Dora 1, 3,000 points. Well, good luck with that. Alright, Northwind start. You make some decisions that are interesting. That's what I shall say. Interesting decisions. Not saying they're bad, just interesting at times. And sometimes being that aggressive does help. I mean, it's a style of play. And being over-aggressive does actually lead people to play differently. If there is somebody who is calling everything and going for hands that are quick, it just, nothing necessarily wrong. It's just the way you play Mahjong, which is fine. I would love to draw a 6 right now and just get myself a Ipeco 1 Dora, which is okay as a dealer. I'll take that. Failing that, though, if I could draw another East and swap my weights around a bit. Or draw an 8 and just get myself a bit closer to a pin food style position. No, we'll see. Okay, Hatsu is risky, but okay. Well, that's opened up something for me, at least. Okay, and that one from Tenpai. Two weeks are gone, so that should be okay. It was possible he was waiting on South, but nah. I mean, in fairness, this does have a ring of truth. If people aren't aware you're in Tenpai, it works. If people are more likely to deal in naturally if that happens. That being said, there is reason to be aggressive, as long as you're being aggressive to purpose. I said nothing. This is your battle, chat. This is your battle. I'm also not paying as much attention to this as I should be. I'm kind of on for Tenhou here, but... Okay, so I'm now in a 3-6. Yeah. The problem with the 3-6 is that a lot of 6s have gone, but we're definitely not reaching this. One man's potentially risky here.
Wrong.
It was, but not for the reason I've imagined, actually. Okay, fair enough. I'll give Keish a few points. So Keish now takes the lead. He is dealer. What was he waiting on? I might have to go and find out later. Okay, South. It's fine if you have aggression is absolutely fine. Calling to get quick wins is fine, though it's things like identifying what's worth calling. For example, the door is free, so anything that involves, if you can get a triplet of the free and go to an easy all simples, then that's worth pushing. You're going for a Mungan hand, which is 8,000 points. It's a lot. 8,000. If you can get 8,000 in a small game, that can potentially be game shifting. Even with open hands. Sometimes you do have to play concealed to keep value, but not always. I think the difference is you go for the calls immediately, and not always to the point of having the best value. I mean, a couple of games I noticed you were calling, and then you had to call again to get yourself back into a position where you could actually have a legal hand. Punching the guy sitting across from you does work sometimes too. Yeah, it's the old pursuit reach scenario. Somebody's just declared reach, you hit Tenpai, what do you do? Okay, we'll go with that. Might still be getting rid of my pair of 9s here, but I need the rest of the hand to develop somewhere. Okay. So we could potentially pull this for Tenhou, which is why I'm holding that open. Okay, that's unfortunate. This, though, is what's happening. So 4-7 reach versus with that. This is aggressive. Against 2 calls, the going reach is definitely considered aggressive here. Now he's got to really think about whether he wants to keep going with this. Is the hand valuable enough? Does he have free Dora? I think ultimately is the question here. Does he have the Honitsu? If it's a big enough hand that he feels it's worth trying, then he'll keep going. If not, we will see him fold. Unfortunately, that was not a safe tile. It's not a very valuable hand, but the point of that aggressive attack was more to put the person to my left, JPB, off of attacking. Make him compromise a little, try and work around it, and give me time to just get a hand together. No, I didn't think he was on for a Ryuiso. I have to see 3 calls before I believe Ryuiso is on. And yeah. Yeah, if your Yakuman requires exactly 6 tiles, it's probably not on. Not that I have made equally desperate plays. I think my my all ones 9s, which I always forget the name of, attempt a few games, well, a few months ago now, actually. That was a while ago. Ultimately, folding or not depends on how the risk versus reward is. Because if you keep... And this I am guilty of a lot. I push with hands which have no value. If my hands have value, then that would make sense to push. I mean, if I'm potentially giving up a Mungan, you know... This hand, for example, already has free door in it. So I am probably pushing this hand, regardless of what happens here. I am likely to be calling 7s and 6s. See, he's called the East. I am actually going to push against this. Because I have free door in the opening hand. I have a good chance of making 4 door a hand with this. So it makes sense to be aggressive. Any hand where you can get free 4 Dora plus a Han means you effectively... Oh, god damn it. Alright, he was in Tenpai, so I didn't have a lot to do there. It was a cheap hand in any case. But it's enough to knock him into dealership. That was slightly unfortunate, but hey. Okay, so I have a set of Wests, which are useless, and one Dora. What can I do with this? Probably not much. I'm in South. I'm double South, so what do? I get rid of South. I knew that the moment I was even hovering over it. That was the wrong move. Mind you, it wouldn't have paid off if I'd have kept it, so what do I know? I apparently know something. But if I was Psychic, I'd be better at Mahjong. Okay, we'll dump the East now. It is played to the left, and he does call it. Okay, so this is where I've got to consider the fold a little more, because this is potentially a big enough hand. He's got one Yaku, he's got another call. He could be going for Honitsu. And I don't have a Yaku to call with at the moment. I've got the Wests. I've now got another East. Okay. So I've still got the White Dragon, which is the only real issue to get rid of anything at this stage. But if I could see one first, that would be awesome. Mind you, this hand is really worthless, it has to be honest. It's not got any value behind it. Now that is potentially a Tanyodora 1. Might not have any value behind it either, but maybe it does. The good thing about the Triple West, though, is they're mostly guaranteed safe tiles with 3. Once I see the 4th, then they are safe tiles. So I've always got the option of aborting. And with 3 calls down, I am now aborting. Because it's probably not a high value hand, actually. That's probably at most east of a couple of Dora. Not even that, just east. Okay, so that was a small hand. It puts him very close to taking the lead, though. And depressingly, this hand is rubbish. I have a pair of Easts, but they're useless to me. Yeah, Medito has discarded a pair of Dragons, which is either a very bad opening hand or just, stuff that happens. No point in me just calling that. No point in me calling that. I've got safe tiles for later if I want them. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep tossing the Dragons. Okay, this is developing okay. Gonna keep the 2 for the moment, though it's the next thing. I want to obviously keep the 1 dot, and the Red Dragon is still a risky tile for me right now. At least in terms of helping somebody else out. But with 1 gone, might as well get rid of it now. So getting close to Pinfu with 1 Dora. No, I agree with that. Doesn't mean I'm good at it, but if you can avoid going backwards. Okay, now we'll toss the red. It was risky. It's still alive, but it paid off, and that puts me 1 away. Okay, 2-sided weight, 2-5. So Riichi Pinfu Red Dora, which is free Han, and that is what I say is the normal benchmark for what you want to get out of a hand. But now the decision becomes on these three whether it's worth attacking this. Obviously, these M5s are all still available, so there's still 8 potential winners. The downside is my hand looks very much like it's going to be one suit and probably Manzu. That's debatable, but... we'll see. Of course, I'll take Tenpai at the end of this. Oh, okay. I'll take Tenpai and become the dealer, but I apparently am going to get some bonus things as well. I even hit an Uradura, so that is basically Mungan. And that puts me solidly into the lead, entering dealer South 2. Okay, red to start. And quite a good hand for me, in all honesty. Well, I got 1 point out of my game, so, you know, 1 point out of the game won. And get a few more. I might even be able to close the gap on Viking with this one. But early days still. And there's a green dragon played. Chinese Mahjong is is entirely safety play as much as you can. And with no real requirement to conceal your hand. My favourite non-Riichi variant is Taiwanese, but I just like playing 16. I just like playing 16 tiles. I don't know. It feels like more happens. Also, 2 dragons on the left, which is almighty. It would be a threat if there weren't 2 greens already, 2 reds already out. But you know, my hand is also very quick, so I might actually just be able to outpace him to it. If I draw 257, and that puts me into. Okay, that's a worry. It's almost certainly Honitsu. Almost certainly, but just because of what he have there, but he might be going for an all honors, which would be insane. But it might be what he's after. That means I might have to take a gamble to stay in the game here. Ah! Okay, I'll gain some extra door out of that, but I want to call this, but I won't have a Yaku. Yes, but I want that Yakuman. I'll be honest, I want that Yakuman. I don't want to give somebody else it. I've made Desperation Yakuman attempts before, though, I'll be honest. I am dealer, but I would be okay to not have this.
Riichi.
Because he might be waiting on the ones, I had to keep those. Oh,
Wrong.
that's just unfortunate. It is unfortunate, because I think that's going to probably be busting out in game. I'll take a plus 57. But well played. I'm going to immediately jump in for round 4, but I think this is going to be it. I didn't normally go for a 4th round, in fairness, but it feels like one is deserved. Okay, wow. JPP, are you just going to keep spamming? This now is final game. Oh yeah, I'm dealer. Ugh. Ugh. Pay attention, Mark. And Debbie immediately decides to carnate for some reason. Because, you know, power play. We might have to start setting rotors. Which I suppose I can do, because I can authorize who goes into each game, so it could definitely be done. Well, I mean, we've got enough people to do it now. That's the thing. There is possibility to just put a second table in the game and just. I mean, that might even help the tournament out somewhat in a lot of ways. For now, though, yes, I imagine you would. Okay, let's get rid of our ones here. I'm kind of leaning ourselves back towards the Tenhou. I also obviously want to keep the 6-man if I can, because, you know, yes, we know you approve of them. Yeah, I'm dealer. I want to stay dealer for the moment.
Ciles.
Okay, so now waiting on the 6. G-Pan is dealer, but 1 extra door. And I got it off JPB as well, just to add to things. Okay, 2,900. It's cheap, but hey, I'm dealer. I'm allowed to be cheap. And without that card, it would have just been Tenhou. Okay, no need to call the west for the moment. North can go across. I have 1 door in my opening hand, and not a lot else going on, in all honesty. I'm a load of draws away from it, but I have the potential for Chanter here. Kind of slightly diminished by that 4 draw, but, you know. Still potential sand queue, and I now have 2 definite safe tiles, which is always a nice thing to have. White dragon follows white dragon. As dealer, I can do anything! Including being a living text-to-speech engine.
Riichi.
Of doom and destruction. Okay, that's quite early, but I've got 2 definite safe tiles, so let's try and use them. Use the west to buy a bit of time. Moving myself towards that sand queue I was talking about a little earlier. Oh, we don't play with any sane people. I mean, come on. This is me hosting these events. Sane people.
Riichi.
Okay. No, sane people. What the heck is this?
Wrong.
Okay, Gash gets a near Mungan, and with all the reach sticks added on there, puts himself into the lead quite solidly. But yeah, what the hell was that? Just the table had gone completely nuts there. And I'm on for a really quick tempi. Potentially. And that's the downside of reaching. Sometimes it just leads to madness. Okay, keep going with that. Okay, get rid of my own win for the moment. Still much prefer to draw over 2 than a lot of other things right now. Wrong 2. But okay. I did ask for something. So that gives me the Pinfu return at this point. So I can draw a 3 and put myself into a 3-sided tempi if I get that. 4 is fine, 5 is fine. That's less fine, but
Riichi.
let's go with that anyway. Because all hail the Hellweight. Which I believe is Hellweight. This is entirely a threatening one. I'll be honest. This is entirely a make them bluff. I've got no dots on visible. I've got no. I've got hardly any Sozi visible. There's a lot I could potentially be waiting on. And that is when you be aggressive against a reach. You have Dora free. Unless you're a Kagi, in which case it's all planned ahead of time.
Sumo.
That worked. Actually, I hadn't really registered it was I could do that, but yeah, of course I can. Yeah, of course I can. Oh well, 2-sided weight then. Dora. Yes, lovely, lovely Door of Doom. Okay, well that puts me slightly in the lead. And we'll see how the rest of the thing progresses from here. Oh, okay, that's me speed clicking again. Not the end of the world, I have the lead and it's not... I think I've just about folded this one. Let's see what Debbie can do with this though. Or what I can still do with it actually, because that's not exactly done with. I can either get rid of the 1-2 and just get myself back into Tenhou territory. Okay. And a call from Kesh, who I presume must have a bonus tile of some type, probably the white or the east at this point. Yeah, the only two left. I suppose he could be going for a 1-suit hand as well, because he would have had 2-2-3 before that call, so maybe he's pushing for an Itsu. Okay, so I now have 4 pairs, but none of them are Dora pairs, so I'm not paying too much attention to that. Okay, give up my 7 pairs sumo, which I would have gotten the 7th turn had I done things perfectly. Or 8th turn. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Just deal into a Mungan or a Sunbaiman? Yakuman, rather, not Mungan. Yeah. Somebody to call that. Have called it. Okay, so now it's 3-6, Tenhou, Wanderer. I'm feeling mean now. I'm feeling very mean. Okay. Ouch. East 2 as well. Just ouch. Okay, let's get rid of my 1-3 here. No, it sounds like it. Don't feel mean, be mean. Indeed. I certainly feel mean out of that, in fairness. Okay, I've kind of gone backwards and forwards a little bit with this hand at the moment, but... Okay, definitely looking into pin through at this point, which again will probably be concealed. We have pin through 1 Dora, so It's still reasonable. This game is mean, you should be mean. Okay, we went 2-3. My main reason for this is that while I could still get the 4 and get the Sanshikyu out of that, I don't need it, and also a lot of the 1s are gone. Okay, so now 5-8 for Tenpai. And 2 Dora, which I would have to reach with, I think. Unless I pair up with 2 of the 5, actually. Or draw a 6. I suppose I could always get the 1-3 route in any case, so. They should also add explosions from Mahjong time. Oh, no, we're not getting into that argument again. All hell, shouty explosions of doom. I could, but I'm not going to. Red Dragon. Which I know is live, but... This seems familiar. I also have double Dora now, which is a bit silly, and since I've already kind of established I would need a reach somewhere. We'll see. Pair of 7s. Is that better than the 6 right now? Might be.
Each.
Okay. Going for overkill. There is a 1-4 remaining. There are 2 7s. I have... Actually, no, that's for a 10. This is for a 10. Regard, darn it. Oh well, for a 10 reach for the pressure. And that is the disadvantage. So Debbie now takes some points off me. I now fall back to 2nd. But I am dealer, which is always an advantage somewhere. And I suppose that makes up for the meanness. Somewhat. Okay, I have Sanshikyu on, which is very nearly there, actually. So potentially Sanshikyu Chanter. Okay, I'm leaning towards Sanshikyu Chanter, which is why I got rid of that. If I can get a 1 or a pair of Norths, then this could be a potentially huge hand. Failing that, of course, I would just take the Sanshikyu here. Khan Power did work this time. Okay, we'll get rid of the East here. Realise the East is Dora, but right now I don't need that particularly. If I can get a 1, then that would allow me to more easily switch this up. Wow, we've been doing Mahjong now for over 2 hours. This has been a marathon session. Okay, there we go. Sanshikyu waiting on the 6 man. which would be enough to overhaul, so I'm actually okay with this. Not going to push anybody off just yet. I might do it next round though. Yeah, now we do it. Now we're going to try and push people off.
Riichi.
Okay, that has not worked on Debbie, but we'll see. We could definitely have more Mahjong nights, in fairness, but I mean, I'm kind of planning on doing some more in next year when we do the 2017 tournament. Now that we nearly wrapped up the 2016 one. There's pretty much going to be one main night left, and obviously I'll do some intermittent things, but we'll see. There are definite plans to do more of this. I mean, heck, we'll get that Yakima sometime. Interesting. There's the 9. Looks like he might be on for a Sanchku as well, actually, looking at that. Rarely. Rarely. Doesn't appear to have dissuaded anybody, actually. There will be more Mahjong, I promise you that. Yeah, I mean, the tournament's not going to end until the next month's mainstream, and I'll probably do some points totalage shenanigans, and then present the non-trophy. Assuming, of course, it doesn't go to me, because presenting myself with a trophy is kind of silly. Four-player Tenpai, and all the 6s were in use. That's what we get to silliness. But nobody lost any points, nobody gained any points. I have 2 door in his opening hand. And I have 4... Yeah, okay, this is just call. Call like mad. Because this is a winning hand. Seven pairs, 2 door, potentially. Or triplets, 3 door. Either ways were fine for me. Well, I do have the trophy kind of set up, I suppose, but it's not really a trophy, and I couldn't hand it to the right winner in any case, especially as we have no idea who JPB actually is if he were to win it. Okay, there's some fighting going on here. Okay, another Sanchku attempt here. let's just play a little more conservatively for the moment, because I've still got the ability to just wait this one out. I of course don't have to win this hand. I'm just dealer, so I should be aggressive, and they should be fearing it a bit more. But mind you, I haven't shown the free door yet.
Chi.
And now I'm unlikely to, but Toy Toy Dora-san. If somebody does play the 5, I might even count it just to see what the result would be. Okay, you're in a single weight with nothing. You're in a single weight with nothing. So I do have Debbie to worry about, but it's probably Tanyo only. Especially as I got free of Adora. Perfect. Toy Toy. Seaman 6, so. Fedora free as well.
Done.
Okay, cash deals into Debbie, and that's only for 1,000. God darn it. Debbie, you need more points for that. That's my dealer turn. Ah, well. As I say, there's one particular Yaku I'd love to get at some stage, and that's the Sankansu, because I've never seen it done, and I mean, I had one opportunity and I messed it up. So that's how I feel about that. I could go for this, but I'm not going to. Gonna hold off for the moment. Toss the Red Dragon, which gets called. Might be tossing the Red 5 as well, but I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to actually draw the Itsu here. Koshi's the easiest to attempt. Whether it's, I don't think it's the easiest to get though. And Daisangan tends to get blocked because people are aware of it. It has the significance of being aware. No, I know how much of a monster hand that potentially was, but still. I'm kind of potentially leaning this to, well, actually I couldn't lean it towards Chandra at all really, but I got rid of the 5. I'm still in contention. I don't need to overstretch at this stage, but it would be nice to get this Itsu set up. Failing that, South waiting on the 2-3 would be okay, though it would only really be the 3. God damn it. It's an Itsu! It's an open Itsu itself, but still. It's an Itsu. It counts.
Gone.
That counts as well, and that's going to hurt. And that is going to hurt me in last as well, isn't it? God damn it. Okay, South free. $11,000 points behind the leader. Two hands to go. And I'm still not allowed to have my Itsu. I don't think I've had a Nitsu in absolutely forever. You just will not allow me as a community to have it anymore. Sankansu is probably the most difficult to pull off on balance. There are a couple of optional ones which might be more difficult. Okay, Debbie has 2 calls and double ton as well. So this is a power. This is aggressive. And while I'm behind, I'm not behind enough to want to try this, am I? Especially if he calls that as well.
Riichi.
I have 2 safe tiles for now. Let's not lose too many more points. Debbie has a lot there, so... I also do have this on as well, which I've got to think about a little bit. Okay, Debbie is an enchanter and free, which is quite a good hand, actually. I've drawn nothing but 2 so I'm okay. I was thinking that was potentially quite bad, but apparently it's quite okay for the moment. So I'm 1 from Tenpai. West is fine. Tenpai. Risky, but I'm in last place, and I need to hold this if I can. Okay. Well, I gained some extra points back, so that at least puts me a little closer to overall victory with the last hand. Oh, but what have I got to try this with? I'm double south, so if I can get a pair of souths, that's my route to absolute victory. Failing that, getting the 8 is 2 Dora, getting the 6 would be useful. Chat is weird tonight. Possibly. I mean, it's clearly working because I'm getting the messages still, but... yeah, I need to hit Mungan, don't I? That's quite good. So 1 door is kind of locked in. I mean, actually, I wouldn't need all that much. Freehand Sumo would be fine, I think. Yeah. So Freehand Sumo. And forget the 8. That gives me 2 of that already, so... I think this is on. No, I was following, so I don't see why. I hadn't done anything specific to the stream to prevent that, so... Okay, Debbie's on the attack as well. This could end in a bit of a mess, in all honesty. But all I know is I'm currently last, so... That mess is almost invariably going to end up with me being in last place. If I let it be.
Home.
Yeah, there's always the potential west round here. I can't remember whether I did or not. I imagine they are on.
Each. Each.
Okay, Pursuit Reach, because if I self-draw, that's game. So 8-9. Fortunately, there are still 3 winning tiles for me out there. I don't have no clue how many you need. But I got it. Sumo, and I think that's game. Reach back to Sumo Dora. And that puts me on top, 30,000, just enough to actually win the game without West Round being enabled, and that will be a stream, I think. Whew, that was a long one. It's now 1:45 in the morning. Hurrah. So, next time we will be doing yet more Mahjong, or rather, I will be playing Mahjong against the Thing. Shadow Zhongage, 5 people in there. I think that's the most we've had. I might actually consider doing double tables at some stage, or doing something. Also, this is a game that I didn't get to see the end of, and wow, is that just ridiculous. Yep, that was fairly ridiculous. Well, I will amend the tables as required. I will add new people on, and I imagine, based on that, that I've now taken the lead, which sounds wrong. So we'll get that amended before the future, I'm sure. So, thank you very much for playing. I will catch you all in another stream. Good night, all.